Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss with you the second type of collection of data, that is secondary data. Till now I have discussed with you the meaning, introduction of statistics, meaning and definition of statistics, and the different sources of collection of data. Under that there are two sources, primary source and secondary source. Primary source is a first-hand data. It is directly collected from the field. Under that I have discussed you the different methods of collecting the data under primary source. Under primary data there are different methods of collecting. Now today I am going to discuss with you the secondary data, what is the meaning and what are the different sources of collecting secondary data. Secondary data are basically a second-hand piece of information. It is a second-hand data. It means somebody have collected the data and they have kept in one of the records or institutions wherein you go and collect the information from there and make a report out of it. It means you don't visit the field and collect the information. It's already collected by somebody else where you go through that information. That is what it is called as a second piece of information. They are not gathered from the source as primary data. In other words, secondary data are those which are already collected, which is already been collected, and it is available in the research institutions, in the colleges, in the library, where you go and collect the information. So they are comparatively less reliable than the primary data. Of course, you may not be knowing that whether the information is correct or wrong. You go visit a particular institutions or research institution and collects the data. So reliable, you cannot. It is less reliable compared to the primary data. Secondary data is usually used when the time of the inquiry is compact and the exactness of the inquiry can be settled to an extent. It can be settled to an extent. To that, it is extracted immediately and the results are also exactly on immediately you will get. So you need not wait. Here primary data, you have to visit the field, collect the data, coordinate, integrate them, reports, analysis, etc. Here nothing else, only already collected, then your report starts. So it is settled on exactly on the same time. However, the secondary data has two important sources. They are a published source and unpublished source. Secondary data are usually gathered from the published source. The new major source of published information are mentioned below. What are the various published sources? Published means which is already been published in magazines or any of the institutions or central government bodies, articles, etc. already published. Okay, so where you collect the information. So let us see what are the published source. First one is published articles of local bodies and central and state government. See, central and state government collects do certain surveys, okay, related to their development projects or any in their department they need some data for the development of particular area or particular country or particular state. So they collect the information and they publish it in a newspapers, magazines or their reports, etc. So if you go and collect those data, they are published articles or published by the central government. Next one is statistical synopsis, census record and other reports issued by the different departments of the government. See, in a statistical synopsis, the meaning of this is synopsis is nothing but the research what they have done and the findings of the research. Then census records. Census, it will be conducted every 5 years, visiting each and every household to know the per capita income of a person as an individual. So these reports will be kept in the government officials. Next is official statement and publications of the foreign government. Government has made certain publications, if it is available, then it is a foreign government that has to be undertaken. Publications and reports of chambers of commerce, financial institutions, trade association, etc. Magazine, journals and periodicals. This you get it from anywhere, journals, magazines, periodicals. These are the published data wherein you will get where whatever the information you may need, it may be available there. Next, publication of the government organization like the Central Statistical Organization, National Sample Survey Organization. Next is reports presented by the research scholars, bureaus, economists, etc. These are the research done by various PhD holders. They will be getting a area of research. After that, they have to publish the reports wherein they will get the results. So these results will be applicable as a sources of published source of secondary data. Next is unpublished resource. Unpublished means they have collected it, the data is ready, but it is not published anywhere. It is not published by the government, institutions, NGOs, etc., research scholars, and it has been collected, information is collected and it is kept. So there are three important sources under unpublished resource. They are the research work conducted by teachers, professors and professionals. So teachers do surveys in their local areas through NSS or through some other association of their institutions, and they keep those data with them. Okay, small surveys like the self-help groups in particular area, or the number of a bank account opened by individuals, then toilets and other facilities whether they have. So all these are the small basics data they collected. Teachers with the help of the students they collect, and they don't publish it, they keep it as a record in their books. So that can be used as one of the secondary data. The records that are maintained by private and business enterprises. Private and business enterprises, if they have maintained any records, it has to be kept as an unpublished resource. Statistics are maintained by different departments and agencies of the central and state government, undertaking and corporation. These are the central governments and state governments. If they have any publication, it has to be kept, and it is not being published. It is unpublished data. So that data it can be used. So these are the two sources of collecting secondary data, that is second-hand data. They are unpublished source and published source. Let us move to the next concept, that is meaning of classification of data and types of classification. Meaning of classification of data. It is a process of arranging data into homogeneous or similar groups according to their common characteristics. Classification means you make a group. The data, if it is collected, homogeneous, similarity will be done will be combined to one group. So according to the similarity, the group will be done. That is called as classification of data. Raw data cannot be easily understood and it is not fit for further analysis and interpretation. It cannot be easily understood because if we combine all the informations together, it is difficult to analyze, understand and interpret. But if we divide according to the similarities, it can be easily understood. This arrangement of data helps the user in comparison and analysis. This will help for comparing from one data to another data, and for the analysis is also it is useful. Now for example, if the data is collected of the population of the town can be grouped. Now when they collect the data, they collect about the age, the sex, marital status, etc. So age group, according to the age group they divide like from 1 year to 15 years it's one group, from 15 to 30 it is one, 15 to 30 to 45 it is one, 45 above it is one. So the group is made according to their age. Then sex, whether girls and boys are different groups, girls in one and boys are one. Like marital status, married will be in one group and unmarried. So like that group will be done according to the similarities, that is a classification of data. Now under the class, let us see the simple meaning of classification of data. The method of arranging the data into homogeneous classes according to some common features present in the data is called classification. Classification means arranging the data. Data has to be arranged into the homogeneous class according to their common features. Now let us see what are the basis of classification or types of classification. There are four classification. They are geographical classification, chronological classification, qualitative classification and quantitative classification. So these are the four classification of data. Now let us see one by one what is geographical, chronological, quantitative and qualitative data. The first one is geographical classification. Under geographical classification, when data are arranged with reference to the geographical locations, here classification is done according to the city, state. Now Karnataka's information and Karnataka state. So they will not mix up with Karnataka and Mumbai and Chennai. No. Karnataka's state of information will be grouped. Then according to the cities, according to the district, it is known as geographical classification. So accordingly they classify geographical area. It is just an example I have given. It is based on the states, cities and districts. Okay, it will be a town, it will be a particular taluk level, etc. So these will help when you group the data, it will be helpful for the investigator to collect the information and come to the conclusions. It is also known as spatial classification. Another name for geographical classification is spatial classification. The next one is chronological classification. Chronological classification means according to the time. According to the time, when data is collected, you have to according to the date or according to the month or according to the year, you have to arrange the data. Like January month's data will be grouped in the month of January, then February's month, March, April, like they will not mix up together. So they will show the information month wise. It may be, I'm just giving you the month, it starts from Jan, Feb, March, like that. Quarterly, weekly also they will take if they want the information of weekly, then according to the weekly it will be divided, the data will be classified. So according to the time, if the data are classified, then it is called as chronological classification. In such a case, the data are classified ascending or descending from the smaller to the lower. Like they are collecting the information from the past 6 months, that is from January to June. So if they go for ascending order, then they starts from January. They write the information January, February, March from the smaller to the bigger one. But when they when they go for the descending order from the bigger to the smaller, so they write first June, then May, like that it goes on. So 5th, 6th months, 5th, 4th, 3rd to 1. So from the smaller to the bigger or bigger to the smaller. So these are based upon the ascending and descending order. It is up to them, but according to the time the data will be classified. So such kind of classification is called as a chronological classification. It is also called as a temporal classification. The another name for chronological classification is temporal classification. Okay. Now let us move to the next classification, that is qualitative classification. Now what is qualitative classification? Under this classification, data are classified on the basis of some attribute or qualities. Here the data are classified upon the qualities, that is honesty, beauty, intelligence, literacy, marital status, etc. So which cannot be measured. Qualitative means some of the qualities which you cannot measure in terms of money. For example, honesty you cannot measure, you cannot give it for 1 kg, 1 liter, 1 gram. No, it cannot be measured. Beauty, intelligence, marital status, literacy. So there are many other qualities which cannot be measured. So honesty of a person is classified based on their honesties, the criteria, the questionnaires, it will be divided, beauty, intelligence. So on that basis the data are classified, then it is called as a qualitative classification. For example, Like population can be divided on the basis of the marital status as married or unmarried. So what is a married status, what is unmarried status, the people. So these you cannot measure. I mean, honesty cannot measure, beauty cannot measure, the intelligence cannot measure. So these kind of classification is called as qualitative classification. The next one is a quantitative classification. This type of classification is based on the basis of measurable characteristics like height, weight, age, income, marks of the students. Quantitative, the name itself reflects. Quantitative means it is measured, which can be measured in terms of numbers. It can be measured in terms of maybe liters, kgs, etc. So height, the feet will be height, how much feet is, weight can be measured, kg, age, number, income is number, marks is number. So it can be measured. So on the basis of which the data are classified. So this is called as a quantitative classification. Quantitative is measurable in terms of numbers. Quantitative, which cannot be measured in terms of numbers, it is quality of a person. Chronological classification, then a geographical classification. So these are the four classification of data. So we have finished with the classification of data. So today I have discussed with you the secondary data and what are the sources of secondary data, that is published resource and unpublished resource. Then I have discussed you the classification of data, under that meaning of classification and the four types of classification. Okay, go through the information, go through the slides and listen properly the various explanation of the concept. Thank you.